Norman Osborn as Spider-Man finally fought all of the Spider family, including Gwen, Miles, and Spider-Boy. And I mean, hell, he held his own. He did a pretty good job as Spider-Man, I'm not gonna lie. But he does have some regret of the past. It looks like that Norman will be pushing over his character into being the good side, especially not having the goblin spirit within him. Roderick Kingsley has gotten out on bail for the whole drug situation with the cola, and he's working with these three anonymous people, which I'm really curious on who they are. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 12. I'm surprised. Norman was good as Spider-Man. I actually liked it. I know some people are indifferent on it, but this is really cool, him interacting with all of the Spider family. The story starts off when JJ is on his podcast, like what is he, the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's talking to Hermes right here, which is a conspiracy theorist. Hermes tells JJ about a lead where Spider-Man's at, and there's like a gateway in Arizona, and Hellgate beat the hell out of Spider-Man so much that they swapped bodies into the other dimension, and JJ's like, listen, I hate my podcast, get him off of here now. With Norman Osborn as being Spider-Man, he actually does the crime fighting that Peter usually does every night, and Norman starts questioning, like, how does Peter even do this? Like, this is hard on him, and he gets nothing out of it. No one likes him like in that way, like, oh my god, thank you, Spider-Man. He just does it for their own free will of being good. At the Rain Corporation, we see Ben Reilly, who is Peter Parker right now, and his friend Brian working on an experiment, a science experiment. I guess Brian and Peter are trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize in Norway, and this girl right here is pretty much looking at exactly what needs to be fixed. Boy, there's a lot, and Brian just feels confident about it, but Ben is like, dude, I don't know if I even want to do this. Asteroid's a solid diagnosis, Brian. If she says it won't hold, we have to be better. Brian asks Peter like, are you headhunted already? You only been here for a few months. And Peter's like, listen, no, Brian, I love it, but you know, plans change. Not this time, Peter. I fought for you to be in this building. We are going to make this work, Parker. And Peter walks away saying that, listen, dude, just fix the formula and we go from there. We cut back to Norman Osborn, and Norman Osborn is watching the trial of Roderick Kingsley, the Hobgoblin, about the whole cola situation, and his crimes are not committed at all. He basically is a free man. Norman shakes Roderick Kingsley's hands, asking him, did you put a hit on me? Is that why you came after me? Don't worry, Normie, it wasn't me. When Roderick drives off in his limo, we see an anonymous person across the street looking at Norman and recorded everything, that conversation between Roderick and Norman Osborn. Friends, we might have ourselves an ally in the cause. And it looks like that Roderick really had nothing to do with the assassination attempt of Norman Osborn. That night on patrol, Norman goes around being Spider-Man and asks the question, how does Peter go with this frustration and just deal with it? And I believe we get a flashback on when Norman was a child being abused by his own father. Somebody talks to Norman and says, so what's up, man? You have been causing a stir with that spider emblem on your chest. You don't get to do that. Miles is with Spider-Boy, Silk, and Arana, but Norman's like, how did you find me? Nope, you first. You tell us where the hell is the real Spider-Man and who are you? Norman says, fine, where do we start? And Silk says the truth. At one point, I felt him in New York City, and then now he's gone. He's elsewhere. And Norman gets a confirmation now that Peter is alive, but he's not on Earth. Listen, Spider-Man trusts me, and you guys should as well. But thank you for telling me that our friend is alive. I got work to do. And Miles stops him like, oh, no. You come back here. Norman flies Miles into a wall while Spider-Boy goes for a hit and punches him in the mouth. Norman then throws Bailey across the wall with Silk. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But Miles actually shocks him with the Venom Blast. I don't believe it's all the way though. But even Miles not trying to use all of his Venom Blast, Norman like just survives it and headbutts Miles in the face. And then gets up, dodges attacks, and web balls him. He then punches Silk in the stomach. Right before he was going for the killing blow, somebody comes up and webs his hand. We get flashback after flashback of Norman Osborn being a child, or it could be Harry though, I'm not sure exactly. Norman web zips Spider-Gwen. That's who interrupted the fight, and he sees all the times he messed up Gwen's life in terms of 616. He realizes, Gwen, no, I'm sorry, and takes off his mask. I'm fighting children. I'm so sorry. And everybody realizes, Osborn? He trusted me. Trust me to keep the secret, to help him if he needed. Pete said I was good at being good. I wanted him to be right more than anything. And then Miles says, hold on, Norman, relax. Just tell us everything. We are listening. Elsewhere, we actually see Roger Kingsley with the 3 hooded mask people. We have no idea who it is. And it looks like that Roger Kingsley and them are going to be working together. I'm really curious on who these 3 people are. And I hope they're brand new characters, not old characters resurfacing. But either way, Norman has a lot of food on his plate right now dealing with this stuff. Hopefully the spider people help him out.